In this video, I'm going to show you how to make some water bottle decals using the Cricut Joy, and we've got some permanent smart vinyl and some permanent shimmer smart vinyl. Let's get started in Design Space. I actually don't have too much to share with you guys today because I created this entire design in an outside program called Adobe Illustrator, and then I saved it as an SVG file and uploaded to Design Space. And the reason I did this is because I unfortunately haven't found a way to be able to create outlines like you see here. So what I did in Illustrator was I typed out the name and then I created an outline of the font just to kind of give it this look that I really was going for with this project. If you're wanting to do this, obviously you can use whatever text you want. To add some text, you just click on text and you can type in a name. I did find one font in Design Space that is an outline font, and it's called Cricut Outline, so you can search for that there. I'm not sure if there are others, I just came across that one and thought I would share it with you, but obviously you can use whatever font you want. So you can play around with that. There's tons of fun fonts here, or you can download some online for free as well. And then the only thing left to do after that is just make sure you size it according to your water bottles. So for mine, I did about 5 inches in width, and then let it manually adjust the height since I left the lock button on. So that's all there is to it. From here, you'll just click make it, and then you follow all the instructions on your computer or your tablet in Design Space. It'll guide you through when to load what blade, things like that. So let's get making. All right, so the Joy is flashing, which means it's ready to load. So I've got my smart vinyl here. I haven't cut it to size yet. I like to do that after, just so I can reserve as much material and not have as much waste. So what we're going to do is apply it on here, and the sensors will catch it, and you'll just have to push it and it'll automatically pull through. So now it's going to align our vinyl and make sure that we have enough to work with. And then I'm gonna hit go in Design Space. And then we'll get cutting. Once the Joy is finished cutting, hit unload, and then we'll cut the material to size, and then from there we're going to weed our design. I'm using a weeder tool, and I'll be removing the excess vinyl from around the letters and also inside of the letters. Alright, so we're going to get started with transferring the vinyl to the water bottle. So to do this, I'm using transfer tape, and I'm just going to start by cutting the transfer tape to size. So that it can fit both of these. So this one's bigger, so I'll cut it to the size of this. And what I'm actually going to do is apply this black outline straight onto this, and then we'll transfer them both together. You'll see what I mean in a second if that doesn't make sense yet. So we'll just get this cutting. And then I'm gonna apply the transfer tape. I like to start in one end and just work my way down like this. You can line it up with the grid lines if you want. We'll use the scraper tool to burnish. I like to do it from the front and from the back. And now we're going to remove this paper backing. So I'm going to start in one corner and work my way down. Go nice and slow, just making sure that everything sticks onto the transfer tape. If you start in one corner and you're finding that it's not sticking well to the transfer tape, you can go back over with your scraper, scrape again. But I like to also try different angles. So like if it didn't work in this corner, was having a hard time removing from the paper, you could just move to a different angle or a different corner. And that seems to help a lot as well. Just a little tip there. All right, so now we've got the black outline on the transfer tape, and we are going to apply it onto the mint transfer tape. I'm actually just gonna take some washi tape to help hold it down. Just have a little bit more control. But just be careful that it doesn't get in the way of where you want to put the black. So now I'll take this transfer tape and we'll apply it right on your base layer, the mint vinyl. So we'll just figure out where you want it, get it lined up, then press down. Then again, we'll use that scraper tool. If you can reach, you can go ahead and remove the washi tape. But if not, if it stays like this, it's not a big deal. We'll just get it later. And then we'll do it from the back again. Now with the Cricut Joy Smart Vinyl, this paper backing is a lot thicker than regular vinyl, so it's just a little, I don't want to say it's tougher to work with, but it is thicker. And that's why I mentioned earlier, pulling from different angles sometimes helps. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to start in the bottom left-hand corner. Actually, I'm going to start in the top left because that's where my design starts. And we'll just work our way down, just pulling, keeping it tight, getting close to a 45-degree angle. So as you can see here, the start of this E is not sticking down. So I'm just trying to kind of hold it down with my nail and keep going. You could also take a weeder tool and help you to hold it down as well. Just be super careful that you don't puncture your vinyl. Because remember, we need both layers to stick here. Perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna get it applied to the water bottle. This is probably gonna be the trickiest part. If you have a person to hold it for you, that can be helpful. You can apply something next to it so your water bottle doesn't move. I'm just gonna kind of put it here where these two boards meet. They're not even, which is actually perfect. All right, so I'm going to start by applying this. This is obviously a curved surface being on the water bottle. There are a few different ways you can do this. I'll link a video up here in the top right hand corner called the hinge method. I love using the hinge method for applying vinyl, but to be honest, I have done probably 10 water bottles already, didn't use the hinge method, and they turned out just fine. So I'll show you how I do it without the hinge method. I'm literally just gonna apply it on here. So I'm getting as close to the bottom as I can because there's more curve, I guess you could say, up here. So we'll get it lined up, but don't push down because your permanent vinyl is super sticky. So you want to make sure everything is even. And then I just kind of let it go and let it drop naturally. I'm going to start with the J and work my way over, just taking my finger and pushing down. And then I'm going to take my scraper tool again and push. And then once you feel like it's stuck well, I'm gonna start in one of those top corners again, pull at a 45-degree angle and see how I'm keeping it really straight down. I'm just gonna kind of pull and I'm rocking back and forth. If you notice that some pieces are sticking up, you can either just go ahead and push them down with your finger or put your transfer tape down again and burnish with your scraper tool. Perfect. So I'm going to put the transfer tape back on the paper that it was originally on, save that for my next project. And then I just like to go over with my finger one last time to make sure everything's pushed down. And then lastly, go over with my scraper tool. Push any air bubbles out so you can kind of see there's one little air bubble on the O. So I'm just trying to push it out. And then I'm gonna remove the washi tape and then we're all good to go. So that is permanent smart vinyl in mint and in black. So that's how you apply the permanent vinyl onto your water bottle. Obviously, if your design is going to be much more complex, it might take you a little bit longer, but seeing as these are just names, it's not too bad. So if you're a beginner, start with something simple. Don't go too crazy right away, just so you can get the hang of it. So now I wanted to show you what the water bottles look like that have this shimmer vinyl. So Cricut has smart vinyl and it comes in, it's called shimmer, which is just glitter vinyl, but they call it shimmer. This Joy Smart Vinyl in shimmer is amazing. Definitely give it a try, and I love how it turned out, if you can kind of see. But the reason I wanted to highlight this for you guys today is because there's something really important to know. With the shimmer vinyl, you're supposed to use strong grip transfer tape. So this transfer tape that I originally used for this water bottle was just the regular transfer tape from Cricut. But just know that with the shimmer stuff, you have to use strong grip. Okay, so that being said, how you should do it is use your strong grip transfer tape with the gold, put the gold down, and then use your regular transfer tape with the black and then apply the black over. So don't layer them together before putting it on your water bottle like we did with this one. You have to go one by one. However, I actually got away with using regular transfer tape and transferring it all at once, but it didn't really work. So I'm gonna show you how I did it. I wouldn't recommend it for beginners. If you're gonna do this and use the shimmer vinyl, just go one at a time, but I'll show you how I made it work. All right, so we're gonna follow the same process here. I'm using the same exact transfer tape that I just used for our first water bottle. And again, I'm gonna apply it on top, starting on the left. And then we'll start in the corner and slowly peel. It's so important to make sure you go slow so that all of your pieces get down. Okay, so this last A is giving me a little bit of grief up here, and I don't want to ruin it. So remember the tip I gave you earlier, try it from a different angle. So that's what I'm gonna do, and check that out. Perfect. I don't know why that is, but give it a try if you're having problems. So again, we're gonna apply the black. I'm gonna reuse my washi tape from before, and now we're gonna apply the black on top. Remove some of the tape if you can. Otherwise, like I said, you can just get it at the end. So you can kind of see here, when I was removing the paper backing, a little bit of this line moved, and that's why I tried from a different angle, but unfortunately I was a little bit too late. So that's why it's so important to go slow. So I'm gonna hit it from the back. All right, so this is gonna be the tricky part. So we're gonna remove this paper backing that the shimmer vinyl is on. The shimmer vinyl is just barely going to stick to the transfer tape. I'm just gonna go really slow. The only reason I'm doing this is because it's 4 letters and I've had luck doing a couple of them this way, but I would recommend using strong grip for your shimmer and then the regular transfer tape for the black, and just going a layer at a time. But I just wanted to show you this in case you're feeling a little risky like I am. So it will come off, it just won't really stick the best. So it's so important that you just go slow, because you don't want any of the letters obviously to move. All right, so it's on there, and I've got my water bottle, and now I'm just gonna follow the same process. So as you can see, it is on, but it's not on very well. It might be hard to tell that from the camera, but for me, it was just enough that I could get it to work. So you have options. Do whatever you are most comfortable with. Look at this. Get this lined up. Okay, I guess that's where we're going. So let's start with the A. That's why it's so important to be careful. So if you missed what just happened, the N, part of the N here ended up sticking onto my water bottle because it wasn't really sticking to the transfer tape. So it adhered, and then it was too much of it was already stuck to the water bottle that I couldn't just pull it back up because I'm not using strong grip transfer tape. So I'm actually kind of glad that that happened, just to be able to show you guys that's another downside too. So you just have to be really careful. It's definitely not perfectly straight, but I think when we have the water bottle up this way, you won't be able to tell. Just a heads up on this, use a strong grip to be safe. Probably enough on that now. So I'm gonna use my scraper tool and we'll peel away. And I can use my transfer tape again for another project. So again, I'm gonna push down with my fingers, try and get any air bubbles out, or if anything's not stuck, that washi tape off. And then I'm gonna go nice and slow with my scraper tool. And there you have it. So shimmer vinyl, this is the box it came from. So it is permanent vinyl and it is called shimmer, which is glitter, but Cricut calls it shimmer. So we've got the shimmer one and the regular permanent vinyl. So 2 different ways to make your water bottle. I love layering beforehand if you can. If you have a huge project, it might not always be able to do it because you don't want to waste vinyl, but since these are pretty narrow and the same size, it worked really well. Let me know if you have any questions below, but thanks so much for watching.